In addition to stone dwellings like the ones that we saw in Skara Brae, during the Neolithic period, we also see monumental architecture and monumental sites. We're going to be looking at the Menhir Alighments in Menhir, France, that were constructed between 4250 and 3750 BCE. These are collections of megalithic stones. Megalithic essentially means a single stone. Mega means large, and lithic means stone. And this is the type of construction we also see in Stonehenge. The sheer size of stones that are dragged across the plain, sometimes from far distances, suggests settlements and communities that are dominated by political and religious authorities. The Menhir Alighments is a site that is located in the north of France, on a coastal area in Brittany. The evidence that these settlements or communities were dominated by these powerful authorities is suggested by these massive building programs and massive structures. Here in the Menhir Alighments, we see literally thousands of these megalithic stones that come from far distances, each weighing several tons, aligned in a particular way, either in circular configurations or in long rows. They are megalithic structures like this are actually seen throughout the world, not just in this region. But these are some of the longest lasting sites that we see. Often they suggest tombs or ritual purposes. These were probably for ritual purposes, similar to what we saw in what we will see in Stonehenge. And these were very popular during the Neolithic period. They often served a large community. Not just a small village would have put this together, but rather we'd see cooperation between lots of different groups of people, and would serve an entire region. And groups of people would travel to these sites for ritual purposes at different times in the year. But it was certainly a place that was meant to show stability. It was a place that you could count upon to be there because, of course, it was made of massive rocks that you put there the year before and you knew it wasn't going to move. And the question is, what motivated people to make a site like this, given the difficulty? You don't just wake up in the morning and decide that you're going to put aside all of your daily tasks like agriculture, tending to your animals, raising your children, storing food, all of the things you need to do to make sure daily life happens. You're not going to just put all of that aside and decide to move a 2-ton rock across the plain unless you had a very good reason and something life or death really motivated you. Most people were probably motivated by religion. And understanding that their daily lives depended on some kind of higher power that provided the stability for agriculture or the seasons. They might have also relied on a powerful ruler who motivated them by creating the stability for society, or maybe the threat of the threat of being ousted from that society. Either way, people were certainly motivated by some higher force and motivated to cooperate with other large groups of people in order to create these sites. The Menhir Alighments are made up of more than 3,000 stones set up in 2-mile lines. There are 13 rows of them, and they gradually rise in size from 3 feet on the east side and 13 feet on the west side, and they are aligned on an east-west axis. And of course, this implies that they are meant for mimicking the path of the sun. Of course, this is a culture that, these are societies that are very much dependent on the stability of agriculture, and they understood the path of the sun and the seasons. So it also could then be aligning on a processional route, mimicking the path of the sun, and reenacting this procession year after year. This is the same kind of impulse that we see in Stonehenge.